It was December 2019 when a mom said enough. She came here to Grady with her 14-year-old son who had Down syndrome, and she walked away. I mean, like, got in her car and drove away without any clue what was going to happen to him next.
We saw the news and our hearts broke, and we had to come and support her.
As if that weren't bad enough, after police arrested her for abandoning an innocent, helpless child, a group of other moms came together to defend her.
I did the same thing she did some years ago.
As a mom, my honest reaction was, "You did what?" Turns out that year, more than 1,400 children in Georgia ended up in state custody, not because of abuse or neglect, but because the parents couldn't cope or find help for their kids' behavior. And that's when I knew I had to find out why. So I made phone calls, sent emails and open records requests, and in my research, I met Kaylee, just one of the hundreds of kids abandoned every year. Kaylee loves to sing. It took a few moments for her to warm up to the idea of singing for me.
You ain't got no one to hold you, you ain't got no one to care.
But once she started, she seemed almost impossible to stop. I didn't want her to stop. She seemed happy. Music is an important part of Kaylee's life.
You're home with me, right where you belong.
Are you right where you belong, Kaylee? Yeah. Did you have any idea when she was born that there were going to be mental or physical challenges?
She would projectile vomit across the room, and just kind of, sometimes she would like seize in my arms and kind of her eyes would roll back. This is you right before your first brain surgery.
Oh yeah, girl.
If Kaylee's life were a song,
Don't do it.
the sheet music would be filled with diagnoses instead of notes. Intellectual disability, mitochondrial disorder, leaky gut, oppositional defiant disorder, ADHD, and PTSD. And those seizures, doctors believe they were caused by a CHIARI malformation,
Which in layman's terms is like the brain has grown too big for the skull.
Surgery addressed the physical deformity, but not the developmental delays and behavioral problems.
She can't really count money. She could not tell time on a standard clock.
It also means she's impulsive, has fits of aggression, and a habit of running away.
There was a brief period where it was very, very scary in our house. You know, the damage to the home and, you know, throwing things. My child will get out of a moving car on I-20 and run across that freeway.
Early on, the stress and focus on Kaylee's needs ended Christina's marriage.
Me and my dad.
At the beach.
That me and my dad.
Constant calls to the school and doctor's appointments ended her career. In 2019, they lost their home.
Why you wanna fight?
At 16, Kaylee just wanted the song to end, intentionally overdosing on 2 medications.
You ain't never gonna fight.
It was then in desperation to get Kaylee better access to treatment, Christina gave up custody of her daughter.
Never did I want my child to leave my home. I just wanted help. I felt like I failed her. I remember I couldn't get out of bed for a week. It was
Dealing with a child with these issues is exhausting.
Tom Rawlings, the director of Georgia's Division of Family and Children's Services, says when it comes to abandonment, there's really 2 groups.
There's one group, the little ones.
First are the parents who just can't cope. Last year, that made up about 5% of the children that came into DFAC's custody. They are usually babies or young children with parents who struggle with severe substance abuse or mental health issues. Then there are children like Kaylee. That's another 12%.
They have tried and tried and tried to get help for the child, and they just cannot do it anymore. They want to care for their child, but what if their own child is perhaps a danger to other children in the home?
What are the gaps? What's As part of a data fellowship with the USC Annenberg Center for Health Journalism, we accessed information on all of these children to learn about their stories, their songs, why they came into care, and the costs associated.
In any given year, our agency spends about $40–50 million.
Do you remember the time when you were away from your mom?
No.
When you were at the group home?
No.
You don't remember it?
No.
I think you remember.
No.
You just don't want to talk about it.
No, I don't. No, I don't, Mama. No. 'Cause I'm all human.
Kaylee, now 19, is back at home with her mother, but her struggles remain the same. As Kaylee sings, Christina writes, candidly sharing their experiences on Facebook. The title to this track, Keeping Kaylee.
Just stay with me. Please stay with me.
First, it was about finding services and support to keep Kaylee at home. Now, Christina wants to keep Kaylee alive.
And I received a phone call from an older woman who had said, we've been keeping Kaylee here, and she's very sick. She's been, beaten and raped, and we believe she's been in trafficking. Can you come get her?
The last time Kaylee ran away, Christina found her here at a Motel 6 off Candler Road, once again vomiting and malnourished. There is certainly tragedy in the lyrics of Kaylee's life, but listen close and you'll hear something else.
You gotta live a little,
I never imagined we'd be sitting where we are today.
cry a little,
I just don't want my child to die.
and let your poor heart break a little.
When it really is that serious.
That's the story of, that's the glory of life.